Hello everybody. So in this video I wanted to I wanted to do like a little, I guess like a little get ready with me or whatever, but also at the same time I was like clip this to my skin or something. Also at the same time just talk about my experience with anxiety because I think I have spoken about it. I don't think I've spoken about this topic before, but today I want to. Okay, today I feel like talking about anxiety. Why? Because I have been feeling a little bit anxious these past days, and that's not good. So, me personally, the first like realization, and okay, guys, here's the thing. No, did I go to the hospital to get diagnosed for anxiety? No. Did I need to? Probably. Would that have helped? Yes. Do I want to be taking medication and all these things? No, I don't want to be, and I'm a very shy person. I'm very like laid back. I just feel like I have the cure to everything. Okay, that's my problem. I'll admit that. But in high school, like guys, that anxiety, it was that's one that's low key when I first realized that I was like, what is this feeling of like just being shied away? Why is my heart beating so fast? Like, why am I shaking? Why is my stomach feeling upset? Like, what is this feeling? Um, they put me in drama class in high school. Okay, drama. When I tell you guys, this person you see in front of you, this was not the same Jamil before. I used to be shy as the fuck. Like, guys, I was so fucking shy. Like, I could not, I did not want to do shit. I was not putting my hand up to answer questions. I was not doing nothing of the sort. Like, it was even hard enough for me to just ask someone for, like, oh, a pencil, oh, for this, oh, for that. I was shy as fuck. So, when they put me in drama class, guys, oh my gosh, that shit used to really kill me. Like, and it's different from now. Like, I feel like if I did drama now, I wouldn't really care. That's just because like now I'm more comfortable and content with who I am. Before I was like trying to hide who I was and come off as somebody else or whatever the case may be. But now I wouldn't care because before it's just like I would be standing there and I just felt like everyone was laughing at me. You know, I was a fragile boy. Like, you know, I didn't like myself, so I expected people not to like me either. You know. Where's my lotion? So drama class. You know how many assignments? Do you know how many performances I would skip over? I refuse. Like, it's not like, you know, you could get up there, push yourself, go do it. Here's the thing, another self diagnosis. I think I'm like a doctor at this point. My diagnosis is. But this one, I went to the hospital for it actually because this one was this is something that only after it started happening a lot in high school did I realize that this is not when it started. Like, this was something that was affecting me since elementary school. Like, when I started thinking back, I was like, damn, all those field trips and stuff that I missed, it was like this contributing to it. Um, I went to the hospital because there would be a lot of times in high school, and again, anxiety contributes to this, and stress also was an indicator of this. And yes, before I used to be really fucking stressed out. Compared to now, no, I'm not really stressed at all. I haven't seen a gray hair in forever. I don't look a day over 18, do I? But I went to the hospital because there was times where I would tend to get anxious, okay, and like I would get this like very upset feeling in my stomach. Not like a stomach ache, you know? I know how a stomach ache feels, you know, you get on that toilet, it hurts for a little bit, you shit it out, it's gone. But me, it was really this feeling of my stomach felt like it was like I how the that feeling, cuz the thing is that feeling it hurts so bad to the point where like this is not a feeling I would wish on any of you guys. To experience that even, yo, that shit fucking it hurts so bad. It's like a cramping feeling plus a constipation plus a diarrhea plus of this movement in your stomach, because IBS is what it's called, irritable bowel syndrome, and it's literally a movement of your bowels, and certain things could trigger it. There's certain foods that could trigger it. Help. Anxiety and stress is a contributor to like flare-ups. Okay, so during that time, before I like, yeah, like I said, I went to the hospital for it later on, but before that time, like, I used to be eating like shit. Okay, so I was just eating a lot of greasy foods, but it's like I remember it so well because, well, this is like key moments in my life. But at my old house, we used to buy this thing from the store. It was like a garlic bread. Okay, it was like very, very greasy, very all of that. I found that a lot of times after I would eat the garlic bread, it's when I would have these flare ups. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like this hurts. Like it wasn't like I would hear my stomach start like bubbling, like I would feel myself starting to get bloated. But sometimes it was only the next day that I would actually like have the flare ups, you know? So after I noticed that, I was like, you know what? I need to go to the hospital. Like this is not normal. Like there was one day I had to get up for school. You know, I know my mom thought I was joking or something, but like it was not, because I was trying to go to school and I told her how bad my stomach hurt. She was like, "Oh, so what are you trying to tell me? You need to go to the hospital? Do you really need to go to the hospital?" I was like, "Yes, like take me to the hospital. Yes, take me." But that day we didn't even get in because, like, you know, you have to wait in the hospital, so we had to go another day still. But when I went there, they were trying to tell me like, "Oh, maybe you're lactose intolerant." And I'm like, guys, I listen. I drink fucking milk. Okay, I eat cheese. Yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, I had a cheese sandwich. I was fucking fine. I'm not no fucking lactose intolerant. I would know if I was fucking lactose intolerant. I'd be eating up them fucking yogurts, fucking cereal, all that. I'd be running through all that shit. So I already knew it wasn't no lactose intolerance. So when she told me that, I was like, you know what? Let me just shut my mouth and see if I'm lactose. She was like, oh, go 2 weeks without eating dairy, see if it happens. Girl, you don't. Okay. I eat ice cream. Name a fucking dairy product, guys, and I'm probably fucking eating it, okay? So when she was telling me that, I was just like, you know, you're the doctor here, right? You're the doctor here, but I knew it wasn't that. So basically, yeah, I'm in school still. Them, them drama classes, like, here's the thing, when we would have scripts and stuff, I would be so excited to do it. Like I would be hyped up like, ooh, bam, here's an idea, bam, here's another idea. Oh my gosh, we could do this, we could do this. Damn, here. And then when it would come time to perform, bam, what did I eat today? Why does my stomach feel like this? Why does my stomach feel like this? Straight to the bathroom, get to the bathroom. I'm stressed out because I have to perform. The anxiety of getting on stage and performing in front of all these people. I'm thinking about it. I'm already an overthinker on my own, so now I'm overthinking it even more. And then the stress of just being on the stage in front of all these people. What if I mess up this? What if I do this? What if I do this? And then I'm stressed out. And then here goes my stomach. And then everything is coming together. And then the flare up would happen. And when the flare up would happen, the flare up wouldn't be like a 5 minute thing sometimes. Like sometimes it would really like drag on, because the thing about the flare up, it's like you're constipated, okay? So while I'm feeling like I need a shit and my stomach's like trying to force shit out, I'm constipated, so I can't force anything out. So then that's when I would feel the little like churning in my stomach, and like I would be like leaned over, like rubbing my stomach, like make it go away, and it would never go away. And then like I'm sitting there, and then it would stop. This is the thing. There was like little pauses in between, like 10-second, 15-second pauses, and then when the pauses would happen, then it would be diarrhea, and then everything would, not everything, some of it would just come right out. It would stop, constipation again, the pain again, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, make it go away. I'm just sitting there like I'm rubbing my stomach and I'm like, oh my gosh, like please, like please, like guys, like that feeling when I said this to my sister, like I told my sister, I was like, that is not something I would wish on even my biggest op. Like, I would not want nobody to feel that shit. Like, that shit hurts. And like, I would sit in the bathroom, and the thing is, like, I never got diagnosed for it. So, like, sometimes when it would happen, I would come out to class. Oh, where were you the whole time? And I'm like, oh, I was using the bathroom. I wasn't feeling good. Oh, well, it doesn't take 30 minutes, but it's like you guys just don't understand what I was going through, and I never wanted to give them that time to even explain it, because I'm just like, who is you? Like, I know what I'm going through. Just take my word for it. I'm not sitting back here just lying, just to fucking lie like some people do. So after it started happening, well, I already knew like the anxiety of it, the stress of being in this class is a contributor, just me not liking myself, me being scared to actually express myself is like making matters worse. So I decided to switch out of that class because this was just gonna make things worse for me. And I switched out of the class. It started going better. Um, I started monitoring like what I was eating, trying I after I stopped eating that, it started to calm, like it was really like calming down, but then again like anxiety and the stress was still there, so like I just had to find ways to maneuver with it. And then like that's when again I think a lot. I always say that I think a lot, okay? But I was thinking back to elementary times. And guys, for real, there was so much trips in elementary that I would miss out on because I would always say like when the day would come, I would be like so excited, so like this is new, like I'm so excited for it, but then like the anxiety of doing something new would catch up to you. And then from when I was in elementary, like my stomach would start hurting, and then I wouldn't be able to go. If I had my mom in the room right now, bro, she could confirm that. Like, I used to cry so much when I used to miss things that I wanted to do. Like, everybody's going on a trip. Like, I wanted to go on that trip. But when you're young, you don't really, like, your brain's not fully developed. So you're not really realizing, like, what's really going on with you. That's why it was only when I got older that I started realizing, like, this is not something that just started in high school. This is something that I've been dealing with since fucking I was younger. And it was so sad. Like, that little boy wanted to go on all those trips. He just wanted to participate. He just wanted to be there with his class, but so many times he couldn't go because he was just so anxious. And like, you know, anxiety is something where it's like, I guess it's different for some people. Some people like me, I've learned to manage mine a little bit more by like, I guess you could say now I've been putting myself in like certain like uncomfortable situations to just like try to like not be so prone to just being shy and being anxious about it. And it's like anxiety, I'm always going to be anxious about different things. But again, during high school especially, I used to smoke weed. I don't know if you guys know, but like weed, it gets you kind of like extra paranoid. So me and weed, no, but actually I would say I was paranoid, but the weed would actually help me to calm down with my level of anxiety. I will admit that weed actually, there were some things that weed helped me do, and that was definitely one. Like, weed helped calm my nerves sometimes. Like, even the paranoia was one thing, but like, I'm thinking about everything else that I'm not even focused on the other things, so I wasn't like as anxious when I was smoking weed. Yes, I was on my tippy toes for surely because weed just had me watching like, this is how I am when I'm on weed. Like, I'm like, oh, like everything, but it's just like paying more attention, but not like to the point where I was like scared. Like, I would be in class high, okay? Like, I wasn't tripping out in class or nothing, thinking, what if the teacher smells me? What if the teacher, blah, blah, blah. Like, I wasn't thinking none of that. But then I was like, like, I just, there's natural remedies. Like, I don't think getting high is the answer to this, like, what I'm dealing with. I don't think if I were to go to the hospital to go get this checked out, they would be like, oh, you have anxiety. Go smoke some weed. So I was like, yeah, no, like, this is not the vibe. So, and especially for my education wise, like, weed was just stopping me from doing a lot of things. So I had to just stop that. But now my anxiety level, it's really, I can admit it's really low, but still sometimes I feel like when I have a lack of control in certain situations, I could feel my stomach immediately wanting to like get upset. Like last night, I felt a flare up coming on. I was thinking I had Wendy's yesterday. Me and my sister went to get Wendy's, but the thing is, I've always eaten that food at Wendy's. So it was like 1 a.m. I started thinking about a situation I felt like was out of my control. And then I start like really thinking about it. And then my problem is when I feel like I'm lacking control, that makes me anxious, you know? People leaving me, that makes me anxious. When I feel like things aren't going the way I want, that makes me anxious. So last night I was thinking about the situation and I was like, fuck. And this is also what I was talking about in that video where I wasn't sure like about what I was feeling, but like last night it was around like 1 a.m. No, sorry, 2 3 a.m. actually I remember because I only went to bed at 4. And I'm laying down and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go to sleep. Like, I'm pretty tired right now. I could probably sleep right now. And then, the minute I flip over, close my eyes, I get to thinking. The minute the thought of something slipping out my fingers came up in my head, my stomach immediately. My stomach, but this is a newer one. So it was like, it wasn't as bad as the flare-ups would usually be. Like this one, I was able to like it calmed down. It wasn't as bad, but it was able to like calm down. But I got in the bathroom, I was like, I feel like I have to shit. My stomach is hurting. I feel like I have to shit, and I'm sitting there on the toilet. I'm just sitting there, you know, and I'm just sitting there, and I feel my stomach hurting. And I'm like, well, here's the constipation. Am I having a stroke? Constipation. Is that how you say it? Constipation? Constipation. I felt constipated, okay? And then I'm like, well, nothing's coming out. Like, it's like an anxiety moment. The anxiety shits, you know. Like, I feel like some people get the anxiety shits, you know. But me, it was like, not just anxiety shits. Like, it'd be like the IBS on top of it. So they're both coming together to just eat me the fuck alive, okay? So then I sat on that toilet for like an hour, just like with my stomach hurting, nothing coming out, and I was like, okay, well, this ain't gonna work, mamas. The minute I get back in my bed, I get to thinking, my stomach starts hurting again. I'm like, fuck, like, and you know, it's like also just things about my character, you know, that contribute to, well, this pain in my stomach. Like the lack of control thing is really something that killed me. When I was dealing with one of my old friends, when I would even think about them leaving, oh, my stomach used to fucking eat itself alive. Okay? It used to fucking eat itself alive. It hated. Like, this is the thing. You're an overthinker and you hate thinking about certain things, but then you overthink about it and then you overthink to the point where it gets you stressed and then the situation makes you a little anxious. And then, you know, they all come together to just form like one ball of fucking mayhem. And this is stuff that happens with me a lot of the time. Like, it happens a lot. That's why I try to, like, isolate as much as I can, you know? Like, if I'm in my room, if I'm just kept to myself, I give myself less things to think about. But the minute something is presented in front of me, and it's something like, if you guys were to give me, like, if you guys were to feed me a plate of shit of something that you're like, oh, if you don't do this, da 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 comes out of it. And like, if I felt like I couldn't figure that out and like I could not control what was coming to me, like, it would cause me to like my body to start. It gives like self destruction. Like, I feel like my body's like destroying itself from the inside to the out. And it's like, that's why, again, I try to like isolate myself as much as I can because once I'm in my room and away from people, you know, I can't really think too much about things. I can't really like feel anxious about things. But then when little things are presented in front of me, it kind of gets my brain running. And then when I'm running and it's thinking about it and thinking and thinking and thinking, and if it's not finding an answer it's satisfied with, then the anxiety starts to come in play. But you know, this is just parts of me, you know. It's not parts that I hate, but you know, sometimes I'll admit it gets annoying. There's nothing that I hate about myself. It does get annoying sometimes, but you know, it's just not as bad as before. Like, I feel like I can manage it, you know. I didn't need no pills or no medication because maybe mine's not as severe as others, but even though it would lead to a flare up in my stomach and maybe it is kind of that severe, but I haven't had one in a bit. I had one like a few, maybe a month ago, I think, and that was like the last pause I had. But that's anxiety for me, and you know, it's a fucking part about being me, and yeah. I wonder how you guys cope with your anxiety. Me, I just, well, I guess I let it eat me alive and try to find natural remedies for it, because that's just what a self-proclaimed doctor does. And yeah. So I just wanted to share that little story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have a lovely day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.